flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight, Peacemakers gaming light so bright. Revving it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in the race. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Throttle down, no time to waste, in this high-octane haste. Every corner, every taste, leads us closer to first place. Under lights, the engines scream, this is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam, racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might, push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight, racing on with all our might. Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight, Peacemakers gaming light so bright. Revving it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in the race. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Thrill the place, thrill the place. Throttle down, no time to waste, in this high-octane haste. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Throttle down, no time to waste, in this high-octane haste. Every corner, every taste, leads us closer to first place. Throttle down, no time to waste.
Oh, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here for another wonderful evening of the Michael's Warrior Project HCK Beagles Truck Series here this afternoon as drivers ready to rock and roll here from the Worldwide Technology Raceway. It is Gateway here this afternoon, and these drivers are ready to jump out there onto the racetrack, give it everything they can. Andrew Ainsley coming in with the like on the stream. Mama Bear with the heart reaction. How are you, Mama Bear? Coming in showing the love as well. My boy Justin. Let's go, Justin, coming in showing the big love as well with the emotes. Brother, new emotes, new badges as well for the members over there on the YouTube stream. You know, you gotta feel pretty happy about those, brother. You gotta feel pretty happy. You know, we're stepping it up here. We're making some new changes. We're making things a little bit better for all of our members and subscribers. It's gonna be fun getting stickers over on Facebook once we reach the 5K follower marker over there, and give you guys some more things, some more active things here for all of the fans in the stands to be able to enjoy. As Jason LePan says, let's see if I can make it past lap 3 tonight. Jason, brother, we're hoping you can make it a little farther than lap 3 this week. Hoping for the best for you, my dude. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As Justin says, all hail the king of peacemaking. You know it, brother. You know it. All hail. Bow down, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to get ready, though, for the start of our main feature event. As Frank Ranger with the heart reaction as well says, rough track. Yeah, this is a bit of a rough track. It's a tough one to kind of get used to kind of get figured out, and to be able to, you know, run very good consecutive laps out here on the speedway is definitely a bit more of a handful. As these drivers are ready to rock and roll, they're ready to go to battle. Starting on the pole in the number 18, it's the Michael's Warrior Project ride of Jacob Group. To his outside in the HendrickCars.com number 5, that is Nicholas Snyder. Starting in position number 3, a little bit of a Halloween, is the Boosh number 77, that is Brandon DeMing. To his outside in the Napa Auto Parts number 16, that is Nick Gardner, starting there in 4th. Starting in the 5th position in the 2, it's the Sparkle and Shine Anything EC ride, that is Daniel Dow. To his outside in the Jegs.com number 45, that is Chris Gilbert. Starting in position number 7 in the Ridge Powersports KR Gutters ride, that is Jeremy Lucy. To his outside in the Dr. Electric Machine, that is Brian Chu, starting in the 8th position. Starting in position number 9 on the speedway in the number 42, it's the Muleburger Custom Home Chevrolet. The Sonic Graphic Designs, it's Winker Nation. That is Kevin Winker starting there in 9th. To his outside in the Arnold Palmer half in half, the HendrickCars.com number 9 machine, that is Austin Gustafson. And then we see the number 75, actually it's the 7 ride of Brett Summers, going to start there at 11th. You'll have the 469, Ryan Peterson there to his outside. Then we see the number 20 at Jason LePan, the 75 of Robert Blair there in 14th. Then we see Jonathan Herbert in the 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. The HCK Beagles number 69 ride of Gregory Turner there in 17th. It's going to have Sean Jensick to his outside. Nathaniel Ostrowiski, Kyle Van Tassel, Andrew Hainsley bringing up the rear of the field. 21 drivers getting ready to rock and roll here for 145 laps of racing action as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. We are quickly green flag racing and already see our pole sitter getting a little loose down low underneath the 5 ride of Nicholas Snyder. Snyder able to keep his foot in the throttle, gets a great run out at corner number 2, and Snyder will lead us down the back straightaway, trying to open up a couple car length lead down into corner number 3. Nice and easy through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4 here. The HendrickCars.com number 5 ride of Nicholas Snyder will lead lap number 1 here this afternoon. Jacob Group back there to second as Nick Garner slides his way up into 3rd. Here comes Chris Gilbert. Gilbert still rolling that middle line here, looking to the outside of the Busch number 77. Is the Busch machine there in position number 5. That is Brandon Deming. Deming trying to keep himself up there, trying to keep that Busch ride there in position number 5 and not fall back any farther as Daniel Dow trying to work himself back inside the top 5. Austin Gustafson already making some moves. The Arnold Palmer half in a half, the Napa Autoports machine. The Mountain Dew ride starting to work his way into that 7th position here on the speedway with Kevin Winker back there in position number 8. Jeremy Lucy back there in 9th, and Jason LePan now rounding out our top 10 here as already Jason LePan up a few spots here on the speedway. He's hoping to make it at least 3 laps here on the speedway. Go to try to do better than what he did last week as Justin says, but let's go Dickinson, lads. Oh, no Dickinsons yet. No Dickinsons here in this one, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they're in a different one. I think Ty is racing tonight. I don't think Bryce is racing tonight in their truck series. As Janelle says, let's go Team HP Motorsports. Cheering on all the HP Motorsports rides out there on the speedway. One of them sitting right there. That's the beautiful Ridge Powersports HCK Beagles number 76 of Jeremy Lucy there in the 8th position, trying to work himself up one spot better as you do see Jonathan Herbert slowly but surely working his way up and through the field. Same with Ryan Peterson there in the 469 ride. Robert Blair right there behind him is that KTM number 41 ride. The Ready to Race machine finds himself there in the 15th position. Frank Ranger holding down the fort here in 16th as Kyle Van Tassel already up 3 spots, working himself there in 17th as Nick Garner, one of those drivers farther back in the field, and Sean Jensick looks like he's already taken his truck off of the speedway here, so I'm not sure what's happened to the Jensick ride, but he is down and off the speedway and bringing up the rear of the field after making a pass-through penalty was that number 16 of Nick Gardner. There was a Monster and Red Bull truck, right? Let's go them. Let's go them. Yeah, I don't know which ones were in which before. They may have changed paint schemes, so that's what we got to deal with now. I think a couple of those drivers may have changed their paint schemes up from the Monster and Red Bull trucks. So you got some different drivers to cheer for now, some different cats out there on the speedway. Snyder, Groove, Daniel Dow, our top 3 here on the speedway. You do see Jacob Group in that Michaels Warrior Project number 18 ride. The beautiful American flag, the beautiful paint scheme truck there, trying to work his way underneath the other American American flag paint scheme on the speedway. That is the 5 ride of Nicholas Snyder. Snyder and the number 18 lead the way as Justin says, oh, don't mind me. Go everyone then. Go everyone. Listen, brother, that's how you got to do it. You just got to cheer on everybody. Be happy with everyone's performances out there on the racetrack. I tend to like to see those drivers that come a little bit farther in the field towards the front. They can pick up a win, a big win after, coming from the back to the front. Those are always the exciting ones to watch. You're going to see them try to work their way through the field. And one of those being, Austin Gustafson. He started there in that 10th position, already up 4 spots, finds himself here in that 6th position, trying to roll in and try to catch up to that 77 rider, Brandon Deming. In that Lisa Halloween paint scheme here, the Boosh ride looking fresh out there on the speedway. Kevin Winker, the Winker Nation machine, there in position number 7 with Jeremy Lucy, another one of those Michael's Warrior Project rides, rolling there in position number 9 with Jason LePan. Brian Chu in the Dr. Electric number 51 machine, rolling there in position number 10 on the speedway. Herbert there in 11th. Brett Summers back there fighting for the 12th position, trying to keep it away from the 75 of Robert Blair. Blair trying to take a look down low, could not make that pass. Is a great run and down the back straightaway there for Brett Summers as Ryan Peterson, Nathaniel Ostrowiecki, Frank Ranger Jr. there rounding out our top 16. Kyle Van Tassel there in 17th with Gregory Turner. Andrew Ainsley, Nick Gardner, and the number 29 of Sean Jensick breaking up the rear of the field. But it's all Nick Snyder still holding on to this race lead. Jacob Group, though, our pole sitter, trying to take it back away from him. He's rolling that number 18 truck nicely around the speedway, trying to find that gear, trying to find the run that he's been looking for to put himself into a position to maybe jump up here and take that race lead back away here from Nick Snyder. But Snyder not going to give it up easily here. He's going to show up the outside, let him have it here, as he's going to take that preferred line down into corner number 1 and see if he can use it to his advantage with the 18 to find that extra little bit of speed, starting to kind of roll there in his back rear view mirror and put that pressure on the back bumper of our race leader. As Daniel Dow a little farther back here in that 2 ride, already up a couple spots on the speedway. Same with Chris Gilbert as they try to hunt down our race leaders. You do see Brandon Domingue still hanging on tough here in position number 5. A bit of a gap now starting to build between himself and Austin Gustafson. As Gustafson trying to hunt him down, but also trying to keep Kevin Winker back there at bay as the Winker Nation Sonographic Designs ride rolling right here to his back bumper. Here comes Jeremy Lucy in the Ridge Powersports KR Gutters number 76. Jason LePan there in that beautiful number 20 ride, already up 4 spots as well. So we got about 5 drivers already working their way towards the front of the field here. So we do see Nathaniel Ostrowiecki, Kyle Van Tassel. They're a little deeper in the field here, but both drivers have worked themselves up 4 spots on the racetrack. Jonathan Herbert started back in the 15th position, now finds himself in 11th. He's trying to work himself inside the top 10 here in that Ridge Powersports number 87 machine. Jason LePan up 4 spots there in the 9th spot, and then we see the number 9 of Austin Gustafson also up 4 positions. So 5 drivers already starting to really work their way through the field, being able to pick up quite a few spots here on the speedway. And unfortunately for some of these drivers, definitely sliding backwards. We do see Sean Jensick off the speedway, but we do see Nick Gardner, one of those drivers that started up inside the top 5. Gardner had to come down pit road, a pass-through penalty, a tough break here for the Napa Auto Parts number 16, as this is going to put him behind the ball here. You do see he's quite a bit away from the next driver in front of him. He's got about 4 seconds now until he can try to catch up to this 24 ride of Andrew Ainsley. Ainsley and Gregory Turner both back here a little bit more off the pace, but just try to keep these trucks pointed in the right direction, trying to keep these things going here and hoping for maybe a caution flag, and especially Nick Gardner really hoping to see that yellow flag fly, as he's already about 21 seconds behind our new race leader, as the 18 of Jacob Group finally able to make that pass and put himself in front of a 5 of Nick Snyder. So Snyder slides back to position number 2. Daniel down there in that 3rd spot on the speedway. As Justin says, Chad, who do do you think is the most likely to win? Yeah, that's a great question, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you guys think is going to pick up the checker flag here this evening? Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to win? That's the big question. Name those drivers in the comment section right now. Who do you want to see pick up the dub here this afternoon? Who do you think is going to get that dub? Obviously, a lot of strong choices. You look at some of these drivers up towards the front of the field, putting on a great race already here. We've seen these drivers go clean and green and not have any caution flags out there on the speedway, as you know, none of these caution flags or anything else could potentially, you know, open up the door for big runs, big gains being made, especially when it comes to green flag pit stops, where I do believe we're going to see these drivers down pit side at least once, probably twice or 3 times here this afternoon. Gateway's a pretty big racetrack, 145 laps. It's quite a distance, so we could see these drivers potentially putting in even more work, trying to roll a lot more in there on the speedway, especially later in these runs as tires start to fade away, the trucks start to handle a little bit worse. It'll be interesting to see who can work their way to the front of the field. I do apologize, I'm not trying to yawn here, but once you kind of get one in there, you just cannot stop. Oh, shout out to Monster Energy hooking us up there. We gotta give a shout out there to Monster, keeping us hydrated, liquidated, and fully, you know, I don't even know what word I want to use there, but you know, fully entertained here this afternoon as Jacob Groove and Nicholas Snyder dangle down our top 3 here on the speedway. Chris Gilbert, they're in position number 4 with that Bush number 77 rider. Brandon Ming still hanging on here to that 5th position, now really starting to grow that gap even more between himself and Austin Gustafson. Almost 2 seconds now between our 5th and 6th place drivers there on the speedway. Kevin Winker back there in position number 7. And then Jeremy Lucy, Jason LePan, and Brian Shu are top 10 here on the speedway. As Sean Arita says, hashtag Winker Nation, as Richard Bradshaw says, watching the number 20 car. LePan, let's go, Richard, coming in, cheering on Mr. LePan out there, as well as a lot of talent there. There is definitely a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent all around this racetrack, man. A lot of talent there with Jason LePan, and obviously you see his teammate in the other Michael's Warrior Project ride currently leading this race, has this number 18 also at the front of the field. So the Michael's Warrior Project rides doing a very good job so far on the evening already. Group, our pole sitter, able to jump up, take this race lead back away from the fine ride of Nicholas Snyder, now trying to keep that race lead of Snyder, trying to reel him back in. They're actually starting to grow that gap between themselves and our 3rd place driver here, quite a bit dangled down. Back about a second and a bit here between our top 2 and himself, and that's going to bring Chris Gilbert slowly but surely right back to his rear bumper. Here comes Brandon Domingue as well, trying to work himself maybe back inside the top 3 from where he started here this afternoon. A great job by Austin Gustafson, continuing to hold on to that 6th position as Kevin Winker, the Winker Nation Muehlberger Custom ride, currently sitting there in position number 7 with Jeremy Lucy there behind him. That's where you see Jason LePan and Brian Shu starting to battle here for that 10th position. So we see a bunch of these battles starting to show themselves here. Some drivers starting to struggle a little bit more, other drivers starting to come on here, and we're going to see that throughout the evening as drivers start to, you know, kind of fall off, especially when it comes to, you know, having, you know, the different pitch strategies, the different tire strategies, and everything else here is really going to show you what these drivers got at a racetrack like this, especially now with this good green flag run going. To see a caution flag, we may not see one here all evening long, so it may be a 145 lap green flag race here this evening, where these drivers are going to continue to battle, continue to duke it out lap after lap after lap, and the race could be won or lost here, as we do see one driver run into issues. That was Kevin Winker, Winker Nation, going for a bit of a slide there out at corner number 2. No caution flag here on the speedway. We keep it clean and green, but Winker Nation unfortunately sees their driver trying to jump up into the 6th position, trying to work underneath Austin Gustafson, and it looks like Oh, it looks like he gets a little loose down low. Comes up the racetrack. I don't know if he made contact here with that 9 right or not. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. See if there was some contact here between Winker and this 9 machine. You see him loose right there. That rear end stepping out on him. And then he's going to try to correct this truck. Try to get it kind of back underneath of him. Unfortunately, it just washes the truck up the racetrack. There is some contact there. Luckily enough, right into the numbers for Austin Gustafson. And unfortunately, that little bit of contact does not help the 42 ride out, already extremely loose, and this ride's just going to go for a skid down the racetrack into the grass here. No caution flag on the speedway, but a tough break right there for Kevin Winker early on in this race. He'll keep on rolling. He's still out there on the speedway, still looking good, but unfortunately lost a lot of track position. Went from that 7th position now back into the 14th spot on the speedway. So for Kevin Winker, definitely not an area he wants to be. As we do see some battling going on again here underneath that 9 ride is now the 76. Jeremy Lucy trying to work himself around that number 9 machine of Austin Gustafson. Gustafson not going to give it up here as Brian Chu able to work himself around Jason LePan. So LePan staying there in 9th as Brian Chu now works himself up inside the top 8 here on the speedway. Chu was looking to have himself a great day at the racetrack last week, man. He almost hit off the win at Michigan. Unfortunately, some late race contact, a couple late race restarts, and for Brian Chu, ended up on the back end of one of those restarts. And unfortunately for the 51 ride, went from, potentially picking up a win or a top 3 run that, inside the top 10 there in that race. So a tough break there for the 51 rider Brian Chu, but he's looking to rebound here this afternoon and looking to have another good run here at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. As Richard Bradshaw says, oh no, yes, unfortunately, oh no there for the number 42 of Kevin Winker, and no for the number 20 rider Jason LePan, as he was up into the 8th position, but now finds himself back in 9th. He does have another Rage Powersports ride trying to hunt him down as the Team HP Motorsports number 87 of Jonathan Herbert now inside the top 10, and he's looking to try to make some moves around this 20 ride of Jason LePan, working himself a little closer to the front of the field. Great racing here, but we did see another pass for the race lead as Nicholas Snyder was able to get back around Jacob Group here as they were battling out there on the speedway just after Kevin Winker went for his loopy loop. Snyder was able to jump back out in front, take this race lead back away from Mr. Group. Group slides back here into 2nd as they hold down back there in 3rd, hanging on to that 3rd spot. Our top 5, other than our top 2, have not changed here as Dow, Gilbert, and Domingue there in that 5th position. And then about 3 seconds back, we see the 9 ride of Austin Gustafson. Gustafson back here in that 6th position with Jeremy Lucy, Brian Chu, Jason LePan, and Jonathan Herbert are top 10 on the speedway. Robert Blair back there at 11th. Brett Summers there in 12th. Nathaniel Ostrowiecki up 6 spots here in this race. Started back in the 19th position. Now finds himself in the 13th spot as Ryan Peterson there in 14th. Kevin Winker back into 15th now on the speedway. So Winker unfortunately sliding a little farther back as Frank Ranger Jr. trying to hang on to this 16th position. Nick Gardner, though, starting to track him down. Gardner, one of those drivers, had to make a pass-through penalty early in this race. Now has worked himself back around a few of our competitors, still about 22 seconds behind our race leader, so he hasn't really given up much time to them, maybe about a second or so, but he has had to work himself around a few other competitors now, trying to work himself around Frank Ranger Jr., but he was able to make the pass on Kyle Van Tassel. He was able to get around the 69 of Gregory Turner and our 20th place driver Andrew Hainsley. As Hainsley now the last car on the lead lap back here in the 20th position. He's got a little bit of a gap between himself and our race leader Nicholas Snyder. Snyder nice and easy down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. He's about half a straightaway away from putting this number 24 ride potentially a lap down as they're across the line. There you see the 24 just heading into corner number 1. So about half a straightaway, maybe a corner or so in front of our race leaders, and unfortunately for them, our race leaders are going to be catching them in a quick hurry. You see them there in that rear view aspect right there. They're tracking them down here at a quick hurry. So Ainsley's going to have to be hopeful for maybe a caution flag here over the next couple laps, hoping that keep this Hainsley Motorsports ride on the lead lap out there on the speedway. I think Gregory Turner is thinking the exact same thing because he's not too much farther in front of that 24 ride. As out in front, Nicholas Snyder continuing to lead the way. Snyder actually starting to open up a little bit of a lead here. Snyder just ever so slightly in front of that 18 ride now to about a second advantage between himself and the 18. Daniel Dow about 2 seconds back there trying to close that gap on the 18 ride, and then you see about a second and a bit behind him is Chris Gilbert, then Brandon Deming, and then about 3 seconds from Deming you do see the number 9 ride of Austin Gustafson back here in that 6th position. Lucy trying to track him back down once again. Is Brian Chu still there in 8th? Jason LePan there in 9th. Has the 87 of Jonathan Herbert all over his back bumper. Herbert down to the inside, looking to try to make the move around the 18. And Jason LePan gets up, scrubs the outside fence. Unfortunately, that's going to kill a ton of momentum for him. Goes rides as they both quickly roll around him there on the inside, and it looks like the 20 ride of Jason LePan maybe coming down pit side. He's on that pit lane. And here you go. Jason LePan going to make a green flag pit stop. You already saw Brett Summers also come down pit side as well. Brett Summers kind of taking that early entry here into pit road. So Brett Summers, we've seen him do it before and be very, very aggressive here with some of these pit stops and the pit strategy. Looks like he's going to try it again here again at Worldwide Technology Raceway. So Jason LePan's going to follow him in, maybe try to use that same bit of strategy as he's seeing out of that 7 ride. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out for them as he's still down getting some work done here on pit lane, as our race leaders have unfortunately put him a lap down, and that is one of the biggest risks here in the truck series or any of our major NASCAR series here. As you come down pit road, you try to short pit the rest of these drivers out there on the speedway. That can work for you. It can really make up a lot of ground, really move you forward in the standings. Excuse me. It can really move you forward in the standings, but at the same point in time, it's a really dangerous place to be, as these drivers out there on the speedway may not come back down pit road. They may not come down pit road for about another 10, 15 laps or so. And with that being said, not coming down pit road for that long, there's a big possibility to see a caution flag fly. If we do see that yellow flag come out, it could trap a lot of these drivers a lap down, as now we do see Brandon Ming from the 5th position comes down pit side here in the Busch ride. We do see Brian Chu, who was in the 8th position, now down pit road, and the number 9, Austin Gustafson, who was in that 6th position, also down pit side. So this is bringing a few more drivers down pit road now. So I wonder if those couple early pit stops, maybe that's forcing the hand here. Now here you go. Nicholas Snyder, Jacob Grube, our race leaders down pit road. Daniel Dow, Jeremy Lucy down pit side. Jonathan Herbert, Kevin Winker. All these drivers starting to make these pit stops now. So a bit of an onslaught of drivers coming down pit side here. This is going to cycle through potentially really quick, as here comes Chris Gilbert going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit side. I do believe here comes Robert Blair. We'll see if Nathaniel Ostrowiecki stays out. Looks like Ostrowiecki will stay out there for another lap. We also see Ryan Peterson staying out for another lap as well in the 469 ride. Frank Ranger looks like he's going to stay out for another lap as well. So isn't Kyle Van Tassel. No, Van Tassel's going to head down pit side this time. So a lot of drivers down pit side, a few more staying out a little longer. We'll have to wait and see what this does for him, as Richard says, in and out number 20. Good strategy, good strategy. Being one of those first drivers down pit road can definitely try to leapfrog you, put you in front of a lot of these drivers. And now those drivers that came down that little bit earlier, they're going to be feeling a lot better about their decision, knowing that at least they're not giving up too much time out there on the speedway to those drivers that stay out there. But at the same point in time, they're not going to have to stress too much now about potentially being trapped a lap or multiple laps down, as here comes Nathaniel Ostrowiecki. Ryan Peterson also down pit road. Looks like Frank Ranger Jr. is going to stay out for another lap, so he's the one driver that's kind of got a stranglehold on the rest of the field here, not coming down pit side. You know, he's got about an 8-second gap between himself and Nicholas Snyder. Jacob Grube, who would still be 1 and 2 on the speedway. Gregory Turner yet to come down pit road as well. And these drivers are either trying to keep some of these cats back there a lap down, or trying to hope and see if they can catch a caution flag here and be able to try to get some extra track position that way. Unfortunately, we do see the Ranger Creative Concepts number 17 head down pit road here. I do believe Gregory Turner also going to make his pit stop as well. So that should cycle through our first pit stop here of the day. It's Gregory Turner and Frank Ranger Jr. both down pit road. That's going to move Nicholas Snyder still out in front, still leading the way. Jacob Grube right there with them in that second spot. Brandon Ming a little farther back here, now back about 4 seconds between our top 2 and himself, as he finds himself now in that 3rd position. Daniel's down back there in 4th, and Brent Summers with that little bit of an earlier pit stop, able to use that extra fresh tires. He's able to work himself now into that 5th position, but he's got Austin Gustafson, Chris Gilbert, Ryan Shue right there behind him. Jason LePan still in 9th. Jeremy Lucy back there in 10th. Robert Blair, Ryan Peterson, Nathaniel Ostrowiski, and the 42 of Kevin Winker. Our top 14 here on the racetrack. Nick Gardner there in position number 15. Then we see Jonathan Herbert a little slower on his pit stop here. The 87 finds himself back in 16th with Kyle Van Tassel, Frank Ranger Jr., Andrew Hainsley, and Gregory Turner still our top 20 out there on the speedway. But it's all Nick Snyder here in this one, as Nick Snyder continuing to lead the way, as my boy Nelson Johns coming in showing the love, says let's go Jensic. Unfortunately, my boy Jensic already done and off of the speedway here in this one. I think he was just showing up, getting those show up points, and then unfortunately dipped out, as Black Phoenix, my boy Black Phoenix coming in showing the love with the heart reaction. How are you, Black Phoenix? Going in showing the love here in this one, as some great racing, some great battles out there on the speedway. Nelson Johns also coming in with that like on the stream. Joshua Neal also coming in with that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, you guys know what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, and make sure you check out all the benefits that you will receive by being a member over there on our YouTube channel, or one of our subscribers over on Facebook and Twitch. Earn yourself a look at some exclusive content, some extra things that you can use throughout all of our streams, like all of our emotes and everything else that we have over there on Twitch and YouTube. You get a nice little badge as well, looking real fancy in the chat, and you get some good shoutouts as well, as my boy Justin Young already coming in, showing the big love over there on YouTube, flexing that Peacemaker Gaming badge over there on the YouTube stream, coming in, showing the big love here in this one, as all you're going to do over there to join our members group on YouTube is on the home screen, or something, you should be able to see the join button. After becoming a subscriber, you should see that join button. All you gotta do is hit that, and you can see all the different tiers and everything else you can get by being a member there on the YouTube stream. As out in front, it is Nicholas Snyder out in front. Nicholas Snyder continuing to lead the way, but Jacob Grube sticking right there on his back bumper. So these two have been 1 and 2 all evening long here, except for those couple laps during our green flag pit stops. But with them continuing to battle here at the front of the field, they've actually opened up a pretty sizable lead between themselves and our 3rd place driver, Brandon Domingue, back there in position number 3. He's about 4.6 seconds back here. And now battling door to door with Daniel Dow. This is going to slow them up even more and potentially allow our race leaders to open up a bigger lead here on the evening, as Dow and Domingue battling here for that 3rd and 4th position. A little farther back, we see Austin Gustafson there in 5th. Then we see Chris Gilbert, Brent Summers, Brian Shue, Jeremy Lucy, and Jason LePan rounding out our top 10 on the speedway. Nathaniel Ostrowiski there in 11th, with Nick Gardner now up into 12th, as Kevin Winker in 13th, Jonathan Herbert, Robert Blair, Ryan Peterson, Frank Ranger Jr., Kyle Van Tassel, Andrew Hainsley, and Gregory Turner bringing up up the rear of the field of active drivers, and Sean Jensick, our 21st driver, down on pit road. As Snyder and Grube continue to show us how to get it done here at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. They continue to battle here at the front of the field, and we'll jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. there on the speedway. Each and every one of them are giving us a great show and a good look at the sights and sounds around the beautiful Worldwide Technology Raceway. As out in front, it's still Nicholas Snyder. Snyder still continuing to lead the way with Jacob Groove right there in position number 2. Both drivers battling here for the race lead, not wanting to give it up here this evening. Both drivers separating themselves now between the top 2 and our 3rd place driver, almost 6 seconds now of a gap back to Dangle down all the way back here in position number 3 is Brandon Domingue, a little bit farther back there behind him in that 77 by Chris Gilbert. Now up inside the top 5, Gilbert finds himself about 12 and a half seconds back here of our race leader, so that separates our 5th place driver and our race leader by about 12 and a half seconds out there on the racetrack with Austin Gustafson there in 6th. Brett Summers currently scored in 7th in that 7 ride, able to hold off Brian Chu as Chu staying there in 8th with Jeremy Lucy there in 9th, and Jason LePan now rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. And then we see Nathaniel Ostrowski there in 11th with Nick Gardner back in 12th, and the number 42 with Kevin Winker rounding out our top 13. What happened to the 29 ride? I think he just came off the racetrack early in the race there, Richard. Unfortunately, Sean, I think he just started and parked that car, took it off the racetrack on lap number 3 and has not came back out onto the speedway. Unfortunately, I do believe that is what's going on there with the 29 of Sean Jensen, just to start and park here this afternoon. I'm not sure why he didn't stick around for the entire day, but I wanted to make sure he jumped in here, kind of got the race started, was able to earn those extra points and everything else towards the playoffs and everything else. So getting those show-up points, at least helping him out a little bit, but honestly not sticking it out here for the entire 145 lap race. And we do see Frank Ranger Jr. also down pit side here, so Ranger's been down on pit road here for quite a little while. We see some rear end damage here for Frank Ranger, and it looks like he's ran into some issues as getting past from the 76. You see some contact right there. Ranger goes for a loopy-loop, unfortunately down and off the racetrack here. Off the racing surface, no caution flag for the 17 ride. Heavy damage there on the back end and that left front for the 17 ride. The Ranger Creative Concepts machine running into some issues right there. Jeremy and Lucy gonna get a piece of them here. Let's see if we can get another look at it and see the contact here, if whether or not the 17 kind of comes down or the 76 comes up as they head down the back straightaway. Looks like Lucy kind of comes up. Looks like he was trying to fall back in line behind the 17 ride. Unfortunately, and a little bit more speed than he was thinking he had. Unfortunately, was not clear and came up into him. Unfortunately, left hooked him. And unfortunately here, going for a slide down through the grass for Frank Ranger. Hard contact there into that inside fence. And pit road being right there, he stays off the racetrack and takes this car down pit side, so no caution flag. If he was to spin out and go around and be on the racing surface, stopped on the racing surface, then we would have saw that caution flag fly, but no yellow flag as of yet. We'll see the number 69 of Gregory Turner running into issues as well. Let's take a look here. See Gregory Turner here. Looks like he's just getting very loose all by himself, trying to roll. Oh, gets into the fence there a little bit. Unfortunately, may have got some more issues here for that 69 ride, and again getting loose down the racetrack and off of the racing surface here. We'll keep that truck rolling as he rejoins the racetrack, so no caution flag there as well, but some good damage as well for the right-hand side of the HCK Beagles. Number 69 ride, a tough break there for him as well. So a few drivers starting to run into some issues. We also saw Bobby Blair down pit side as well in that 75 ride, so Bobby Blair already making a potential second pit stop here on the day on lap number 65. That may have been a little bit early here, but drivers were last down on pit road around lap 37, so we may start seeing them come back down pit side here in the next few laps. In the next 5-10 laps, these drivers may be making their way down pit side, as it seems like they can only really last out there for about that kind of 39, 37 laps or so. That was the longest run we had for drivers during that first green flag run. Actually, 40 laps for Gregory Turner was the longest we saw drivers out there on the racetrack. So We'll wait and see if somebody tries to stretch it 40 laps here, see if they can go above and beyond that 40 laps before coming down pit side. As Richard Bradshaw says, ouch, ouch. Yeah, that was definitely an owie and an ouch right there for the 17 truck of Mr. Frank Ranger Jr. A tough break as well for Gregory Turner, as both drivers unfortunately dealing with a rough day at the Speedway on a very tough, very, very hard racetrack. As Damn 76 spun me and ruined my race. We saw that, Frank. We saw that, brother. Unfortunate contact. Unfortunate contact, unfortunate spin there for you, and unfortunately down on the apron of the Speedway in that grass, and it does not qualify as a caution flag. We're going to see another driver potentially run into that issue as well. The 469 ride, Ryan Peterson getting loose out of corner number 2. Ooh, we got lucky there. Did not make any contact with the outside or inside wall. Able to catch that ride and keep it rolling through the grass there, and we'll keep on driving it there. But unfortunately, that did kill a lot of his momentum. Took him back here quite a little ways. Unfortunately, he's going to have to try to rebound from that one. We do see some more drivers making their way down pit side. Here comes Brett Summers. Summers, one of those drivers that's fairly aggressive with these early pit stops. So we saw him come down pit road first on the last kind of area where we saw these drivers make their way down pit side. Now we see Jason LePan the next lap around. He's going to follow suit with the 7 of Brett Summers, and this is where we really saw an onslaught of drivers start to make their way down pit road. So green flag pit stop's going to come up here in just a few more moments. Going to make things very interesting. As Richard says, my guy LePan holding position strong. I've been in a real car with him. He's the real deal. Yes, sir. The real deal, Mr. Jason LePan. LePan, definitely one of those very good, fierce drivers out there on the Speedway, and he's going to be one of the ones that leads them down pit road for the at first here in this second green flag pit stop run. We do see Brandon Ming now down pit road, Brian Chu, Jeremy Lucy, everyone's going to follow suit here and start to head down pit road. We'll have to wait and see if any other drivers decide to make it a little bit longer here, try to stretch out this fuel run just a little bit more, as it may be not quite at their numbers, but I do believe even pitting around this time or in a little bit is my boy Neil Lapidus. Neil coming in, setting it off as well. What in the world's going on, Neil? Neil coming in, showing the big love here in this one with the 100-bit donation over there on Twitch. Coming in with the 100 biddies. Let's go, brother. Coming in, showing the big love. And we appreciate that, brother, coming in with the 100 biddies here in this one. As Neil says, shame I missed the race again this week. Should be back next week, though. Gotta root for my boys. Number 77 of the Ming and the 51 of Brian Chu. Well, brother, you tuned into another good one here. The Ming's been looking pretty good, pretty solid up inside the top 5 throughout this race. And Brian Chu worked himself up inside the top 10. He's been there pretty much all evening long, as well as we do see the 18 and the 5 ride both head down pit side. They've been the class of the field here all evening long, as Jacob Groom was able to take that race lead back away from that 5 ride, but the 5 getting a little loose there, getting into pit road speed, but he made up a lot of ground and a lot of gap here. This is an area where drivers got to be very, very careful. You do not want to make that mistake down pit side. You do not want to be caught speeding or anything else, get held down pit road for 30 seconds or a minute, or you get held down here even more, or have to make a pass-through penalty. Is definitely not something you want to look forward to. As Neil says, living that dad life, jumping from 1 kid to 3 has been rough. Obviously, family comes first, though. Absolutely, brother. Family always comes first, and yeah, that's definitely a jump, dude. Going from 1 kid to 3 has got to be a little bit rough. It's got to be a complete game changer, but especially having the 2 newborns, having the twins, man, that's got to be. It's amazing, but at the same point in time, it's got to be slightly exhausting, brother. Our hearts are with you, man, and we're glad that the babies and mom are all doing well. Everyone is doing good, and as much as we hate missing you here on the simulator, brother, we always know that the family, the twins, and the wife and the other young one, they all come first, brother. They all come first, and sometimes you gotta do more dad duty than driver duty here, especially in those early stages, especially with mama. Mama needs a little bit of resting time after giving birth and also, you know, dealing with the kids all day while you're out at work and everything else. I'm sure she's fairly exhausted as we do see our first caution flag here on the evening. Now, this is going to mess things up here. Green flag pit stops were kind of underway. We'll have to wait and see if anyone gets kind of trapped a lap down or anything out there on the racetrack. Let's take a look back and see what brings out our first caution flag here of the afternoon. As it looked like Jeremy Lucy kind of went around here on the speedway, battling underneath the 51, and Lucy goes around here on the bottom side of pit road. You know, I'm not sure if there was anything else that may have happened around that same time, but doesn't look like it. Looks like that will be our caution flag. Jeremy Lucy going to go for a bit of a loop right there, and causes our first yellow flag of the day here. So I believe Lucy coming down and spinning here, being stopped kind of right there on pit road. I think still being on pit road stopped, I think, is what brings out that yellow flag here this afternoon, and that's going to make things very, very interesting. Drivers that have already come down pit side, now we'll see drivers that haven't made that green flag pit stop yet make their way down pit side here, but I do believe pretty much everybody inside of the lead lap has made their green flag pit stops, besides the 469 rider Ryan Peterson. Now, I do believe this will pay out very largely here to Ryan Peterson, able to get a lap back out there on the speedway by staying out a little bit longer, and also going to give him, you know, some good fresh tires here. No risk of the green flag pit stop, and he'll come back out with the freshest tires compared to everybody else. Now, a lot of these drivers don't have many laps on their tires. You look at, you know, Jacob Grube, our race leader, or Nicholas Snyder. You know, they were only down pit side a couple laps ago. Same with Kevin Winker and Jonathan Herbert. You know, they were only down lap number 76, where lap 77 we saw Ryan Peterson make that green flag pit stop. Now, some of our drivers that are off the lead lap, like Bobby Blair here. Bobby Blair's going to head down pit side. Same with Gregory Turner, and looks like Andrew Hainsey going to look to try to see if he can get the free pass or a lucky dog here, potentially out of the 24. You see Frank Ranger make his way back down pit side. Unfortunately, Sean Jensick still down and off the racetrack. He's not getting back into this race. A huge shout out again to my boy Neil Lapidus. Neil coming in, setting it off here in this one, brother. I appreciate you coming in, showing the big love with that 100-bit donation, coming in, showing the love here this afternoon. Now, after this race, we may be doing a little bit more action as well. We may hop in and play a little Call of Duty later on this evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Would you guys be interested in seeing that? Would you guys like to see us play a little bit of Black Ops here, getting onto the sticks, playing a little Call of Duty for some late night streaming content? Let me know in the chat right now if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing and watching and being able to have some fun and maybe even hop in and play some of the games with us, man. Maybe squad up and jump in there and have some fun on the new Black Ops stakes here with your boy Peacemaker. As tower operator, how are you, Mr. Muleburger? Muleburger coming in, showing the love, says hashtag Winker Nation, cheered on Kevin Winker. Winker was doing very good early in this race. We saw Kevin up into the 7th position, trying to battle underneath of Austin Gustafson, trying to take 6 away when we saw him go for a bit of a spin out of corner number 2. Unfortunately went down into the grass, got a little bit of damage, but unfortunately gave up a ton of track position. He's been trying to make that up all day long. And same with the 16 rider, Nick Gardner. Gardner had a pass-through penalty to start this race, so on lap number 3 he had to come down through pit road, couldn't make a pit stop, but had to go down pit lane all the way down, and unfortunately that set him way back. Went from starting inside the top 5 to all of a sudden sitting at the rear of the field. Now, he was able to, you know, keep on trucking, picked up a few drivers during that first green flag run, and able to keep himself on the lead lap. Now finds himself back here in the 11th position, right back tight together with the rest of this field, and able to maybe make some moves and work himself back up towards the top 5 here. We'll have to keep an eye on this Napa Auto Parts number 16. But out in front, Jacob Grube and Nicholas Snyder see their huge lead, their huge advantage, unfortunately evaporate and go out the window as they were battling the top 2 at the front of the field with over a 6-second lead between themselves and our third place driver at the time taken down. So door to door, down through the Geico restart zone. We will go back to battle here at beautiful Worldwide Technology Raceway as our first restart of the afternoon is going to fly. The first yellow flag just after midway point here in this race. Now we're going to really mix things up. Drivers got about 65 laps of racing action left here this afternoon to try to figure out who is going to put themselves into victory lane. Now, who may have been trying to play some different strategies, who maybe has that extra gear left in their back pocket to work themselves up to the front of the field and battle for the race win this evening. As things a little bit more fair and square now after that caution flag, as you do see Jacob Grube and Nicholas Snyder battling door to door. Daniel down, put the pressure onto their back bumper wheels right into the back end of the 18 and that number 5 Ryan. Chris Gilbert there as well as contact up into the outside fence for Nicholas Snyder. Snyder going to keep it rolling here down into the inside wall now, and our race leader going from the penthouse all the way to the outhouse seal at corner number 2 in quite a bit of damage here for that 5 right as well. No caution flag on the racetrack, but man, oh man, oh man, that is going to be a tough break for Nicholas Snyder. Going from the front of the field, you see him make that pass for the race lead, and I'm not sure if he clears the 18 all the way or if there was a little contact there as he was trying to clear this number 18. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. Let's see if we can get another angle at it. Let's see right here, maybe we can maybe see some sparks fly as the 5 right looking to slide up in front of Jacob Grube, looking to keep himself at the front of the field as he comes up the racetrack. It doesn't look like he clears the 18 to make a little contact. That's what gets him hard into the outside fence. A little bit of front end damage there for the 18 and some pretty heavy right front damage and left front damage here for this 5 right as he gets into the wall on the outside of corner number 2, and then down the back straightaway gets hard into that inside fence there as well as he was slipping and sliding through that infield grass. Able to keep that truck rolling out there on the speedway, still rolling out there. Currently scored in that 16th position though. So a tough break right there for the number 5 right as Nicholas Snyder now all the way back in 16th. That's going to actually give Jacob Grube the race lead. Brent Summers going to jump up into second as Chris Gilbert, Brent Summers there in 1 and 2. Now the 18 right all the way back here in that 3rd position. Loses some ground there, maybe some right front damage as well for the 18 as he's trying to battle back to the race lead. Looking down to the inside here of Brent Summers. Austin Gustafson there in 4th. Daniel Dow back into the 5th spot now on the speedway is Gardner there in 6th. We talked about Gardner before that restart and how he showed to have a very fast truck. Unfortunately, had to make that pass through penalty. Now finds himself up here in position number 6 on the speedway. So working his way up and through the field. Brandon DeMay there in 7th in the 77 is the Bush Machine there in position 7 on the racetrack. Jason LePan there in 8th. Kevin Winker back in 9th. Brian Chu rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Ryan Peterson, Nathaniel Ostrowiski, Jeremy Lucy, Jonathan Herbert, and the 13 of Kyle Van Tassel. Our top 15 here on the racetrack. Right behind Van Tassel is that number 5 ride of Nicholas Snyder. Snyder trying to work himself back inside the top 15 as Bobby Blair, the first car a lap down there in the 17th position for the 75. Then Gregory Turner back in 18th. Andrew Hainsley there in 19th. And Frank Ranger Jr. back out there onto the racetrack, scored in the 20th position. And Sean Jensick, who's been down behind pit wall since lap number 3, moving up the rear of the field. It is Chris Gilbert, though, with the race lead. So Gilbert able to take the lead here as you were correct on that one, Richard. Restart gonna get crazy. Things got a little bit crazy right there, and it really mixes up the front of the field. A bunch of different drivers now inside the top 5, ready to move and ready to try to pick up this win instead of the 5 of Gardner and the number, not Gardner, of Snyder and the number 18 of Jacob Grube as Grube still right there, barely within distance to make a move and try to put himself back to the race lead and see if he can run away with this one. Currently scored there in the 2nd spot. Brett Summers there in position number 3, trying to hang on to it as here comes Austin Gustafson. Gustafson looking down low here. Same with Nick Gardner. Gardner, we talked about that speed and the moves he's been able to make, and here you go. He makes a 2-for-1 deal down in corner 1 and 2 and move Nick Gardner down into that third position. I think Nick Gardner may have one of the fastest trucks out there on the racetrack. He may be that driver to beat here this afternoon as he's finally starting to get that track position and the ability to race towards the front of the field. Now into that third spot here on the racetrack. He may be up there in a quick hurry to battle with Chris Gilbert and Jacob Group for the race lead. Dingle down right there behind him, going to slide into fourth is Gustafson. Slides back here into the fifth position. The Ming already working down low underneath of Brett Summers. Now here comes Kevin Winker Nation. Get on your feet here. It's Kevin Winker back inside the top 10. He's looking to try to make some moves here, see if he can put himself up inside the top 5 as he's trying to figure out a way to get around the 7 and the 77 out there on the racetrack. Now pushing Brandon Ming down the front stretch here, trying to give him a good run into corner number 1 here. Now going to skip out, jump to the high side, but gets a little loose right there. See if he can get a big run here out at corner number 2. See if he can make that move around that 77. It looks like the bottom lane is starting to become really the most preferred line away around the racetrack. That middle groove really starting to come in strong. You're seeing more and more drivers finding that speed in that middle groove and a little bit higher of a groove. I'd say the third groove out there on the speedway as well. So the trunks are changing, the tires are slowly fading away, but all of these drivers are starting to get a little bit more speed, a little bit more comfortable out there on the racetrack. The racetrack continues to change and making it that much better out here on the speedway. Is Joshua Peacock, Mr. Peacock coming in, setting it off here in this one. Josh coming in with a 500-star dono over there on Facebook, coming in with a big D of the day. Josh Peacock, my boy, setting it off here in this one. The big D of the day, coming in with the 500-star dono. I appreciate that, brother, coming in, showing the love here in this one. We're going to pin that one, as that is the big D of the day, knocking my boy Neil Lapidus out of the big donation of the day here position as Colton Manage, my boy Colton coming in as well with the heart reaction on the broadcast. How are you, Colton? Colton coming in, showing the big love, as well as I do believe we're going to see our second caution flag of the day fly. Our second yellow flag being displayed here this afternoon. Looks like Brian Chu going to run into some issues here. A little contact between him and the number 469 rider, Ryan Peterson. Gets this 51 turned around, pointed the wrong direction. Luckily enough, looks like everyone's able to avoid him. So doesn't look like any major damage here for Brian Chu, but unfortunately that is going to take him around. Let's take a look at it here as Chu just through corner 1 and 2, trying to come down the racetrack. The 469 unfortunately washing up the racetrack here a little bit. Gonna get into that left rear quarter panel in the Dr. Electric 51 ride. Unfortunately going to continue to get shoved here as he's losing that rear end, and unfortunately, the NASRA machine going to go for that loop-de-loop. Good piece of driving right there by Jason LePan to be able to avoid it and keep himself out of trouble right there. Is that going to be a whole lot worse for poor Mr. Jason LePan? Let's see if we can jump on board here with LePan. He'll get a great look at this one, a great view of this carnage in front of him, and able to avoid this contact between Ryan Peterson, Brian Chu, just inside the top 10, and luckily enough, able to make the right call, roll out of that throttle, and keep himself out of any extra damage there. Some good piece of driving there by Mr. LePan, being able to recognize that and take himself down and out of the way. We did see a handful of drivers make their way down pit side here, so some different pit strategies starting to unfold here for some of these competitors. Now, some of these drivers that are pitting here on lap number 93, I don't think they can make it to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think they can make it all the way to the finish line, so they're probably going to have to come down pit side at least one more time. I don't think they can stretch out that fuel to the 50 lap plus marker. We've seen them go 40 laps, somewhere around that 40 lap marker, so pitting now may not be the best thing, as some of these drivers may make their way down pit side later in the race. But if they could come down, maybe get fuel only, or maybe 2-tire pit stop here later in the race with our race leaders who will take 4 tires, maybe that will leapfrog them, give them the track position that they need. Maybe it's a gamble that will pay off here for some of these other drivers. We did see First one was Brent Summers, who came down pit road there in the number 7 Ryan. Jeremy Lucy came down pit side. We also saw Jonathan Herbert, Jason LePan, Kyle Van Tassel, Nathaniel Ostrowiecki come down pit road. And we also see Brian Chu, Robert Blair, Nicholas Snyder also come down pit side here. So Chu coming down a little bit later here. Gonna have that extra lap of fuel. Same with Robert Blair in the 75. Snyder coming back down pit road here. So we'll have to wait and see. He's looking to get some repairs done, trying to get this truck fixed up and back into one good condition here. See if he can race his way back up through the field, and using those fresh tires and extra fuel may help him out just ever so slightly, especially with a little bit of an extended caution flag here. As we're going to get an opportunity, we're going to quickly play our sponsor video here. Shout out to Frank Ranger Jr. over there at Ranger Creative Concepts. Some absolutely amazing things he's doing there at Ranger Creative Concepts. Take a look at what they have to offer and give our sponsors a little bit of love here this afternoon.
I feel like I'm afraid to say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart, you can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart. I feel like I'm afraid.
Alrighty, as we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing here from beautiful Worldwide Technology Raceway. It is the 45 ride out in front, Chris Gilbert, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. Is Daniel Dow looking very good on these restarts. We'll jump up into position number 2 as Jacob Groove slides back now into that 3rd position. Nick Gardner there in position number 4 and looking for more as Austin Gustafson trying to work down low underneath that 16 ride. Couldn't quite find the hole he was looking for, and here comes Captain Winker Nation. They're looking to try to slide up inside the top 5 as he battles to the outside of Austin Gustafson there on the racetrack. Brandon Ming there in 7th with Ryan Peterson working to his outside. Jeremy Lucy there in position number 9. Lucy's one of those first drivers that were just down pit side on lap number 93. So Lucy looking pretty good here. Has a little bit different of a pit strategy going on, as we do see Jason LePan now jumping up into 10th. He's that 2nd driver with this pit strategy here this afternoon, now inside the top 10 here on the Speedway. Brent Summers back there at 11th as Jonathan Herbert looking down low to his inside. Robert Blair back there at 13th with Brian Chu there in 14th. Nathaniel Ostrowiecki trying to hang on to the 15th position as Nicholas Snyder looking down low to his inside, and Kyle Van Tassel back there in the 17th spot. Then we see Gregory Turner here in 18th. Gregory is the first driver 1 lap down out there on the speedway. Well, Kyle Van Tassel in will get the wave around here, the lucky dog, and he ends up back on the lead lap. Now we do see Andrew Hainsley run into issues. The Hainsley Motorsports ride does the damage here on him as the 9-line apparel machine gonna run into some issues already. Heavy left front damage here. Take it back here a little bit, see what may have happened to the 24 ride. Is some pretty heavy damage for this 24. Right there, looks like coming out at corner number 4. He's going to run into some issues here. Watch that truck just get loose. The rear end stiffs out around him. He makes heavy contact here with that inside fence. He pit wall road right there, and unfortunately that creates a ton of damage on that left front. He's trying to get this truck, trying to get it pointed back in the right direction here. Keeps on rolling, keeps the speed in it here. down the front straightaway, but then he goes to turn into corner number 1, and it looks like that left front damage just too much here. Doesn't really want to turn too much. Gets up into the outside fence, so more damage there on the 24 truck. And then finally, this thing just does not want to turn at all on the speedway. He's going to take it down onto the apron and take that truck down pit side. Unfortunate break there for the number 24 of Andrew Ainsley, as it's going to put him down pit side and potentially out of this race, as out in front. Continuing to lead the way is Chris Gilbert still out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done with Daniel down there in second. Jacob Grube in position number 3. Nick Gardner there in fourth with Kevin Winker rounding out our top 5 here on the speedway. Austin Gustafson there in 6th with Brandon Domingue, Jeremy Lucy, Jason LePan, and Robert Blair rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. So Jason LePan now the first driver here as he's able to move around the 76 with 76 all over his back bumper. Now here comes that 75 of Robert Blair as well. The pair of Ridge Powersports hate our gunners. The HP Motorsports rides right there trying to hunt down this 20 ride as LePan now going to look down to the inside here of Brandon Domingue for position number 7. LePan starting to work his way to the front of the field and on a different pitch strategy than what we see out of the rest of these competitors. Now making this a little bit of a different strategy coming down pit road during that last caution flag. I'm assuming it's going to take these drivers somewhere to around a lap 133, maybe lap 134, where the rest of the drivers that are in front of Jason LePan right now were last down pit side at maximum lap 76 here for Kevin Winker. So they're probably going to have to come down pit road around 116. So we're going to see potential green flag pit stops here again this evening. Able to see some of these drivers stretch it out a little bit more, but even for those drivers that came down pit road on lap 93, lap 94, even trying to save that fuel during an under caution flag, I still don't think they're going to have enough to make it to the end of this feature event. I think they're still going to have to come down pit side, maybe make a 2-tire pit stop or get a splash and go where they get the extra couple gallons that they may need to make it to the end of this race, and maybe that'll be enough to leapfrog them, save them that extra 7-8 seconds there on the speedway. Put them at the front of the field and having that race lead where they can use it to their advantage. We'll have to wait and see if Jason LePan can make those moves. You see him make the move now around the 77 of Brandon Domingue and try to work his way underneath the 9 right of Austin Gustafson here for that 6th position as Gustafson trying to hang on to it. You see the 75 right of Bobby Blair getting a little loose there out at corner number 2, able to catch it. Unfortunately, slides all the way back now into that 10th position as the 76 Lucy and Domingue both able to get back around him here. So that was a tough mistake right there, but Domingue is looking to work forward. Same with that 20 run of Jason LePan. LePan now into the 6th position. So one of those drivers with the better tires and one of the last drivers down pit side here, working his way through the field now, trying to hunt down our 5th place driver, Kevin Winker, as Winker trying to hang on to that 5th position as that 20 ride tracking him down in a quick hurry. But out in front, it's Jacob Grube, Jason LePan's teammate, the pair of beautiful looking Michaels Warrior Project rides here battling towards the front of the field. Obviously, we see one leading this race, another one trying to get his way inside the top 5. Out there on the racetrack is Chris Gilbert. There in second. Daniel down there is third. Nick Gardner holding on to position number 4. And Kevin Winker rounding out our top 5 as we did see Gregory Turner with some issues here as well. The 69 ride, the HCK Beagles machine. Looks like he's going to get loose out of corner number 2. This car washes down the racetrack hard up into that inside fence as well for 69 ride. That's a tough break for Gregory Turner. Then he's trying to get this truck going back in the right direction. No caution flag, unfortunately, here for him as he takes it down pit side and off of the speedway. A heartbreaker there again for the number 469 machine is out in the 5th position. We do see the 20 rider Jason LePan starting to make some moves here. LePan down low, trying to roll around Kevin Winker for that 5th spot. Winker going to battle hard though to the outside as Kevin Winker looking to try to stay here in that 5th position. The 20 rider Jason LePan trying to take that spot away from him. Out in front, it's Jacob Grube. Grube continuing to lead the way here on the evening. Grube out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here this afternoon. Between himself and that number 5 right of Nicholas Snyder, two of the fastest trucks out there on the speedway, but the 5 right after the contact, unfortunately into the outside wall. In that inside wall, still deal with some of the repercussions of that mistake, and unfortunately that damaged up number 5 right, finds himself rolling back here in that 13th position and about 7 seconds back off his counterpart here on the evening. Jacob Grube, his group, knowing that he wants to stay out in front, continue to lead these laps and continue to potentially open up the door here to try and make his way into victory lane here and maybe lead the most laps. So we do see some drivers now coming down pit road. Nick Garner down pit side. Nathaniel Osherwisky also making that pit stop. Gregory Turner down pit road as well in that 69 ride. Did see Brian Chu already make his green flag pit stop here as well. So some of these drivers, knowing that they're within range now to make it to the end of this race, they can finally make that pit stop and be the final pit stop here of the evening. So drivers starting to work their way down pit road. Some of them a little earlier than others, like Nick Garner, who's still down there, starting to roll back here onto the racetrack. Brent Summers as well, now down pit side. Nathaniel Osherwisky finally rolling back out onto the racetrack as well, as that's one of the big things you're going to have to be worried about here. Nick Garner, Brian Chu, two drivers that were on the lead lap, now find themselves a lap down out here on the racetrack. They need things to cycle through. They may not cycle through for quite a little while. Those drivers that were last down pit road on lap 93, 94, they can stay out on the racetrack here for potentially another 10, 15, 20 laps longer than everyone that's coming down pit side right now. So drivers like Daniel Dow, Kevin Winker, Austin Gustafson, who are making these pit stops, could potentially put themselves a lap down out there on the speedway. This could hurt them in the long run here with everyone else kind of staying out there on the racetrack. We do have a bunch of drivers that can make it quite a ways more here on the speedway. As Grube out in front, still not going to come down pit road. Chris Gilbert going to hang there with him as you see Brian Chu trying to hunt him down the 51 wide, trying to put himself back onto the lead lap as Jason LePan there in position number 3. Robert Blair now into 4th with Jeremy Lucy back here in that 5th position. Jonathan Herbert there in 6th. Nicholas Snyder now in 7th. And then you see a couple of those drivers that have come down pit road. Lap 77 there for Ryan Peterson, 75 for Jacob Grube and Chris Gilbert. They're starting to run out of time here before they got to make their way down pit side. Probably around lap 115 is where they can mostly max it out. So I'd assume you'd see these guys down pit road maybe in a lap or two. Maybe they were able to save a lap or two under the caution flag there, trying to turn the trucks off and coast around the racetrack. They may have been able to save a little bit of time here with that move, but you do see the 18 Eagles. He headed down pit side this time, so Jacob Grube going to forfeit that race lead over. Chris Gilbert going to stay up for another lap here as the 45 line going to lead a lap, as you do see both Chu and Gardner right there in that 9th and 10th position, waiting for this 45 line to head down pit road and give them their lap back to make sure they stay on the lead lap. As a caution flag were to come out, this would potentially trap them a lap down, so they're trying to get around this 45 as quickly as possible. And now you do see him take the inside lane, and it looks like Chris Gilbert is going to come down pit road this time. So here comes our other race leader, Chris Gilbert, down pit road. Jason LePan not coming down pit side as of yet. Last down pit road on lap number 93 here. So K-Dub 42 says, well, gotta love getting wrecked into the pits. Oh no, Winker! Oh no, we'll have to take a look back and see what happened here. When did Winker come down pit road here? Here we go, Kevin Winker coming down pit road. This was a little while ago, lap 113. Let's play it back and see what happens here. Doesn't look like too much damage. We did see some damage on Austin Gustafson's ride. We did see that front nose damage. Now, I wasn't sure if he got that on the racetrack, but looks like he may have gotten that down pit road. Winker up there having to get slowed down to the tracks ever so slightly. Gustafson trying to make up as much time as possible, trying to make up that ground on pit lane. It looks like he's just going to come in with a big kind of steam. Unfortunately, Kevin Winker trying to get slowed down to pit road speed. Gets hit from behind, and that's where both of these drivers got their damage. Tough break right there for the Muhlenberger Custom Home Sonic Graphic Designs, the Winker Nation ride, running into those issues, and Austin Gustafson right there in it as well. Tough break for both drivers that were having some pretty good days up inside the top 10, top 5 here for most of this evening. Unfortunately for both competitors, they were down pit side for a little while there. We do see looks like Kevin Winker still down on pit road here, potentially pit road speeding penalties, because that shove that Gustafson may have gave him may have been a little bit too much, as K-Dub says, end of my night. Oh, no, Winker. Was it because of damage or pit road speeding penalty there? Because we do see you and Gustafson still both down pit road. You guys haven't left yet, so I'm not sure if that was maybe because of incident points or something maybe, or maybe because of speeding. Not too sure, but we do see K-Dub and Austin Gustafson both down on pit road, and not rolling back out here anytime soon as Jason LePan out in front. 8 minutes required repairs, laugh aloud. Oh, brother, that's a tough one. That is a tough one right there, my dude. That's a tough break. That's a tough break right there. I mean, give it up for the young lad. I mean, Austin, he's still learning. Young, unfortunately. Not a happy camper. I know. Who's ever happy with having a night end that way? Obviously, always a tough break, but I mean, good learning experience at least. A teachable experience here. If you go and have a conversation with Austin, a good teachable moment right there for Austin Gustafson. Obviously, having that mistake, having that run in right there. Two drivers, coming together like that. Down pit road, obviously trying to get everything he can, trying to save that extra time down on the apron there, trying to head down pit road. Unfortunate contact, and could have been a big hero or zero moment right there. Unfortunately, that was a zero moment for Austin Gustafson, and a heartbreaker there for Kevin Winker. So hopefully he comes over and maybe apologizes or gives up his 2 cents there on the incident there, as K-Dub says, looking forward to Indy though next week. K-Dub, we know you're always looking forward to Indy, brother. We can't wait to see you out there on the racetrack, and hopefully stick around. Hopefully you enjoyed the rest of the show here, watching these drivers duke it out, battle here for the win this evening, as a couple different strategies kind of getting played out here. Now, I'm not sure, I don't think any of these drivers that came down pit road on lap 93, 94, that they can make it. We have seen a bunch of them now coming down pit road, including Nicholas Snyder, who's in the 5 ride. He's headed down pit side here, so he's just rolling back out onto the racetrack, and some of these other drivers that were down later on during that last caution flag, making those pit stops. You see Jason LePan staying out there for a little bit longer. Same with Jonathan Herbert in the 87. So a couple different game plans out there on the racetrack for a few of these drivers. And right now, Brett Summers in the 75, both looking to put themselves back onto the lead lap as they roll around the outside of the 20 of Jason LePan. Now, LePan does have about... and he's got about 18 seconds between himself and Nick Gardner. Gardner does seem to be the driver that would consume the race lead here after pit stops between our other 2 drivers by coming down pit road 5 laps earlier than Jacob Grube. Grube is right here behind him and trying to chase him down here. So Jacob Grube has been one of those trucks to beat all night long, and he may be in that golden seat right now. But if LePan and Jonathan Herbert can come down pit side quick enough, maybe only do a 2-tire pit stop, get that splash of fuel and go. Maybe they can make it back out in front of Nick Gardner, maybe make it back out in front of Jacob Grube, and give them a bit of a run for their money here late in this race. We'll have to wait and see how this one kind of all plays out. There's about 23 seconds right now between LePan and Nick Gardner. Now, LePan could come down pit side. He would have the better tires by a good amount of laps here right now. So we'll have to wait and see how the strategy plays out for the 20 ride, how it plays out for all these other drivers. Coming down pit side a little bit later, maybe this will make his pit stop a little bit shorter, save that little bit of time down pit road, but also maybe give him the best tires on the racetrack late in this race, where he's going to be able to make up the ground he's been looking for to maybe put himself back to the front of the field here and put himself into victory lane, because he was up inside the top 5 before we started to see these drivers come back down pit road. So we know he was in good position at the time of his green flag pit stop. So obviously now everyone else having the better tires, running the better laps compared to Jason LePan. He's given a lot of time up right now, and he just doesn't want to wait too long. If you wait too long and you jump back out there onto the racetrack, you have the best lap times, you have the best tires. Unfortunately, though, you may not have enough time to make up the ground you're looking for to kind of get back to where you were or to advance yourself here with that strategy. So the pan's going to have to be very, very cautious about what he does out here on the speedway over the next few laps, trying to give it everything he's got. Maybe just see if he can make it the whole way. I think he can, man. Lap 93. To make it, virtually 52 laps out there on the racetrack, even if he was able to save a lap or two during the final parts of that caution flag, he's still going to make it like 45 laps or so. Actually 50 laps or so out there on the racetrack, and we've only seen drivers really only go about 40 laps before having to come down pit side. So I don't think they can make it more than 40 laps, maybe 42, 43 laps would be the maximum, which would still put this 20 ride about 7 to 10 laps shy of being able to pick up the checkered flag. So sure how this is going to work out for him here this afternoon, but he's giving it everything he can and leading some laps at the front of the field, maybe a bit of a momentum booster. We'll see Jonathan Herbert kind of on that same game strategy now. He's about 6 seconds back of our race leader, Jason LePan, but some of those drivers that were already down pit side made those green flag pit stops. Back here in the 3rd spot, 4th spot, 5th spot here is Jacob Grew. Things were to cycle through, would be that race leader once again. Nick Gardner would be scored in 2nd. Neil Dow in 3rd with Chris Gilbert and Brandon DeMing rounding out our top 5 here once LePan and Herbert do go down pit road. But not sure where Jason LePan may come out of the pits as and where he may be able to drive up and into. We'll have to wait and see when he makes that call to come down pit road. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he comes down pit road in the next lap or two here, as it looks like he's going to stay out for at least one more lap. Power count into quarter number 3. So LePan not coming down pit road as of yet, as we'll jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here before we finish off the final 10 laps of this race, or 16 laps of this race, but we got around lap 10 to go here. So we're right on board here with our race leader and some of our other top 5 out there on the speedway, and give you guys a good look here, the sights and sounds around Worldwide Technology Raceway Gateway here this afternoon. Here you go, the number 20 is going to make his way down pit road. So when he comes back out after this green flag pit stop, he's going to have about 14 more laps here. Will 14 laps be enough with the fresh tires to try to hunt down the rest of the field and maybe drive his way into a win here this afternoon? We'll have to wait and find out as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. as Jacob Group continues to lead the way here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Group out in front by about 2.1 seconds between himself and Chris Gilbert. They're in that second spot. Nick Gardner holding on to position number 3. Daniel down back there in 4th with Brandon Domingue. Our top 5 here on the Speedway. Jason LePan trying to take that strategy, trying to put it to work. Unfortunately finds himself stuck back here in the 11th position on the racetrack. As LePan back there in 11, trying to work his way to the back bumper of the 41 of Nathaniel Ostrowiecki for the 10th position here this afternoon. But his teammate in the Michaels Warrior Project, number 18 ride, it's Group, who continues to lead the way with only 6 more laps of racing action here this afternoon. Only 6 more laps here for Jacob Group to try and pick up the checkered flag here from Gateway. It's down the front straightaway across the flag stand. The high 5 here from our flag man. 5 more laps left to go here for the Michaels Warrior Project number 18. Looking to pick up another checkered flag, looking to pick up another win here on the season as my boy racing Jason Fontaine. Jason coming in, setting it off as well. Jason coming in with a 50-star dono over there on Facebook, coming in, setting it off here in this one. Not once, but twice. Are you kidding me? Racing Jason Fontaine coming in with a 100-star donation, coming in, showing the big love here in this one. Says, what's up, brother? What's up, my brother? What's up, Jason? What's good, my dude? How are you? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Tuesday. You know what's up, my boy? Some great racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming as we watch these NASCAR truck drivers go to battle. They've duked it out here, all ready for 140-plus laps here on the evening, and they're looking to try to finish this night off. At least one of them looking to get this done in a quick hurry. Now every driver back here behind that 18 ride of Jacob Group, they're hoping to see a caution flag. They would love to see a yellow flag and another opportunity to stack this group back together and give themselves another shot at trying to hunt down a race win here this evening. But right now everything is in the ball court for the 18 ride of Jacob Group. 2.5 seconds now between himself and our second place driver Chris Gilbert. As Gilbert there in position number 2. Nick Gardner rounding out our top 3 is Daniel down there in 4th. Brandon Domingue there in 5th. And then we see Robert Blair, Nicholas Snyder, Jeremy Lucy, Brian Chu, and Nathaniel Ostrowiecki rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. He's got Ryan Peterson right there on his back bumper. Jason LePan there in 12th as each and every one of these drivers are trying to hunt down, trying to battle to the back bumper of this 18 machine. And Jacob Group, only a couple more laps left to go here this afternoon, trying to put himself into victory lane. As another shout out here to my boy Jason Fontaine, racing Jason Fontaine coming in with the 100-star donation. Huge shout out again to my boy Josh Peacock coming in with the big D of the day in the 500-star dono. And my boy Mr. Neil Lapidus coming in with the 100 bits as well over there on the Twitch stream here this afternoon. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do see that white flag fly. So one more lap around here for the number 18. And it's out in front, Jacob Group. He's been the reflection of perfection here this evening. It was a good battle early on between himself and Nicholas Snyder. Snyder ran into issues, and ever since then, it's been all Jacob Group. As out of quarter number 4, and for the final time down the front straightaway, Group will see that checkered flag fly, and he will pick up the win here at the beautiful Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's Gateway, baby, and it's the 18 of Jacob Group who finds victory lane here this evening. Group gonna get it done with Chris Gilbert there in second, and Nick Gardner gonna come home in position number 3. Daniel Dow, Brandon Domingue, our top 5 with Nicholas Snyder, Robert Blair, Jeremy Lucy, Brian Chu, and Ryan Peterson rounding out our top 10. Nathaniel Ostrowiecki, Jason LePan, Brett Summers, and Jonathan Herbert, our top 14 out there on the racetrack, still on the lead lap. Kyle Van Tassel coming home in 15th once that first driver 1 lap down. Austin Gustafson, Kevin Wanker, Frank Ranger Jr., Gregory Turner, Andrew Hainsley, and Sean Jensick going to bring up the rear of the field. But at the end of the day, it's the driver here on the front straightaway that gets to burn down the house. The 18 ride of Jacob Grew picking up the win. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys enjoyed that racing action, if you guys enjoyed the fun and the racing here this afternoon, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button right now on the broadcast. Become part of the Peacemaker family, become part of the Peacemaker crew. Hit that subscribe button or hit that join button, become part of the Peacemaker members group here this evening. It's Jacob Grew picking up the big win in pulling this 18 ride, the Michaels Warrior Project, in to victory lane here at Gateway, as we'll get ready to pull our top three up into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Post-race interviews about to come right at you here in just a moment, as we'll get our top three up here into the booth. Let's see if we can get them in here for some post-race interviews. We do see Jacob Grew already in here, so let's pull our race winner straight up and into the broadcast booth. Hey Jacob, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
10-4, gotcha.
Jacob, man, what a run, what a drive. Take us through this one, man. It's some good battling here through the first 90 laps or so between you and that 5 rider Nicholas Snyder. You two duked it out door to door for quite a few laps out there. Then all of a sudden he tries to slide up in front of you, trying to take that race lead back away. Wasn't quite clear. You guys make a little contact. He gets up into the inside fence and into that outside fence as well, and creates quite a bit of contact there for himself. No caution flag really set him back here, where it opened up the door for you to just keep on rolling here at the front of the field. And with a couple quick caution flags, you had to hit these restarts and try to rebound and get yourself back to the front of the field, back around Nick Gardner and Chris Gilbert and some of these other fast cats that were able to pounce on that opportunity. They put you behind them, and they weren't able to hold on for very long. It didn't take long for you to work your way back to the front of the field throughout this final green flag run and put yourself up here into victory lane, man. Take us back through the contact there with you and Nicholas Snyder, and take us back through the evening altogether, being able to pick up another big win.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Well, it was a night of highs and lows, I'd say. Starting on the pole and then to lose the position before we even get to turn one, and then we just had, it was a great battle with Snyder until that caution came out, and sucks that he had some damage and whatever. We were having a pretty good race, and I feel like putting on a pretty good show, so that was a lot of fun. Hats off to him. Then we got shuffled back, and then had to make a strategy call, and kind of got back in traffic, so I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, and noticed some other guys had really picked up some speed. So, I went from leading a lot of laps to, okay, well, maybe I'm going to get lucky, get a podium here or something. And, but, the strategy seemed to pay off, and just had a little bit better tires, I think, at the end of that one.
Absolutely. The strategy, the tires, everything paying off for you here late in this race. And we saw, your teammate there in the other Michaels Warrior Project ride try to roll a little bit of a different strategy there for Jason LePayne, coming down during that, I believe, our second caution flag there, our third caution flag on lap number 93. He comes down pit road and gets some fuel. It didn't look like he got tires, but then late in this race, staying out there, trying to keep all of you guys back there behind him, never got a caution flag or what he was really looking for there, and unfortunately had to settle in for a 12th place finish here. But he looked very, very fast there for quite a while in that 20 ride, working himself up inside the top 5 there before that final round of green flag pit stops got underway. Take us through some of that and through some of the team strategy here through the evening.
Yeah, we definitely had the discussion, but I mean, you just don't have very long at all to make those kind of decisions. The caution comes out, and you immediately go into trying to do math in your head, which is always dangerous if you're me, and just kind of like, what's going to be the best call? And we didn't have much time to really think about it. He decided he would go in and try it. I think that was a good call, honestly. It could have worked out for him if things had fallen just a little bit differently. I felt like I just needed to kind of stay out, but right after that, I kind of regretted not going in. So could have went either way.
Absolutely. Definitely could have went either way, but it went the right way here for you in this one as you're able to pull that 18 truck back up into victory lane here in the Michaels Warrior Project HCK Beagles Truck Series here this afternoon. Jacob, who'd you like to thank for another great run, another great drive, and another dump here this afternoon?
Yeah, I just want to thank you. I appreciate the call and the sponsors of HCK Beagles League and Michael's Warrior Project and everybody that supports it. Thanks to all the competitors. I mean, it's just great racing. You know, it's anybody's championship still, and we're just having great battles. So I'm really enjoying it. So thanks to everybody.
Absolutely, brother. Everyone coming together, everyone making this series pretty awesome. And this was, I do believe, our first race on the second half of the schedule. So knowing that there's only a couple races left here before the playoffs get underway, does it feel to be able to pick up another win, try to go into these playoffs with that extra little bit of momentum, an extra bit of points here in your back pocket, trying to work yourself into what could be the championship lead into our round of 20.
Yeah, maybe a little momentum, but I think it's once we get into the playoffs, it's still going to be just like a brand new season. So
Absolutely. So it'll really turn the tables on everything, but having that momentum may pay off majorly here for the 18 ride. Jacob, congrats on another big win, another great drive here this evening. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the Speedway next Tuesday.
cool. Thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Jacob Groom as Groom able to pick up the win here this afternoon and pull the 18 ride up and in to victory lane here this evening as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the number 45 of Chris Gilbert. Gilbert coming home here in position number 2. We'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Chris, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Aaron.
Chris, man, another good run, another good race here for that 45 ride as you were able to battle around here. A lot of different strategy, a couple good green flag runs out there, and late in this one, able to time your, final pit stop correctly, able to take those tires and work yourself up here into position number 2. It seemed like nobody really had anything for most of the night on these longer green flag runs for Jacob Gruben for a while there, Nicholas Snyder, but being able to come up here, battle for that second spot, take it away from Nick Gardner, and put yourself on the podium. It's got to feel pretty dang good.
That feels good. It was a good race. I felt like on my part, Jacob. Nobody had really anything for Jacob. Nick was up here earlier, or Nick Gardner. He probably would have been jumped right there with him. They were fast. Sucks that Nick Snyder had issues, but it would have been a good battle. I kind of once again got a little bit lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit of unluck there for the 5 ride after some contact between him and Groob trying to clear each other there at a corner number 2. Unfortunately, he had to settle in a little deeper in the field, but it opened up the door for you to kind of gain an extra position. And for a little while there, leading some laps, keeping these guys back there behind you after that contact as you were able to kind of jump on that opportunity, roll around those guys, and try to put yourself into a winning position there. But still a lot of laps left after that contact with the 5 right into the outside fence, and all of a sudden, it didn't take long for Groob to work himself back up there around you guys and back to the front of the field where he was able to open up this lead and drive home to a pretty easy win here with Nick Snyder parked down pit side here, or not parked down pit side, but having those issues and having that damage and not having as fast of a truck is what he did early in this race.
Yeah, it definitely sucked for him. It's honestly, if I figured out what I figured out in the middle of that race, before the race started, I probably would have been right there with Jacob, but by the time I figured it out, there was just too much ground to catch back up to him.
Yeah, absolutely. But you found something out, and it pays off here at the end of things as you're able to pull it up here with a solid second place run. Another great finish here. And now knowing that there's only a couple more races until our playoffs here with the HCK Beagles, how do you feel after having another good run, another solid second place finish here? How are you feeling points-wise going into these final 2 races?
I'm feeling pretty good. I definitely got to just work on being more aggressive throughout the whole race. I've been letting too much stuff happen, but get that figured out, then we'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Absolutely. Well, man, another good run, another good race here for you. Chris, who'd you like to thank for a great performance again here this afternoon?
Gregory Turner for letting me in this league as late as I joined, and then Michael's Warrior Project, and everybody else puts this league on. So thank everybody.
Absolutely, brother. Chris, congrats on another great run. Congrats on another great finish, and we look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack next Tuesday, and maybe right back up here in the broadcast booth, and maybe another trip for yourself up here into Victory Lane.
Yep, thank you, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Chris Gilbert. Gilbert coming home there in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for the 45 machine as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher here this afternoon. It's the 16 ride of Nick Gardner coming home in that third position. We'll pull him up here into the broadcast booth, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, please make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll pull Nick up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Nick, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Nick, man, another very good run, another very good rebound race for you as we saw you have to do that pass-through penalty early on here, coming down pit road, and you go from, starting in the 4th position all the way to the back of the pack here, and, throughout that first green flag run, we see, basically 70-something laps of green flag racing action. You were able to kind of keep yourself on the lead lap, keep battling, picking them off, and working yourself back up through the bottom half of this race. And then that caution flag had to be a great breath of fresh air as that kind of got everyone restacked in there. You restarted about the 11th position, and you took full advantage of that right away, quickly sliding up into about that 6th spot on the speedway. We watched you kind of work yourself up through the field, and then here late in this race, man, making some good moves, making some good runs, and hoping to try to use some of that strategy there late in this race to put yourself into the winner's circle. Unfortunately, just could not hold off Jacob Grube and Chris Gilbert here this evening, but to be able to come home after the way this race started with the 3rd place run, it's got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, it feels good, man. Obviously, the penalty didn't make the night easy at all. Obviously, but it's part of it, and stuff happens. So I took it and practice pit road entry a lot to kind of help myself gain more time, not only on the back of the pack, but trying to get away from the leader so I didn't get a lap down. So that tended to help pretty good. Made my way through, caught the lead lap, and was able to snake my way through a little bit, gain some spots, had a great green flag stop, got up to, like you said, like 12th, 11th, 10th, and then caution came out. So that caution actually helped out a little bit, regroup everything, and the race was on from there. So it was good to be back up with the field, and of course I used my tires up a little bit trying to gain a lot of spots, but man, truck was good all night, just weaving through the field, and got up to like 3rd there, I think, and then later another caution came out, so we kind of debated if we should pit or not. So I already passed enough trucks tonight, so I didn't feel like pitting again. So I just did what the leaders did. And then that last run, I decided to, instead of pitting long, normally I like to pit long and just when I'm close to empty, just pit and, because tires do have an advantage here. But man, I passed so many trucks tonight. I was figured I'd just try something different. So I pitted right at the lap number where I knew I could make it to the end, and just played defense for the rest of the race. Obviously, I knew Jacob and Chris were coming with fresher tires. Daniel wasn't too far behind, and yeah, just kind of played in defense. And I was just telling those guys I wish I would have been able to start the race up there with them and stay up there with them and been up there on equal tires to be able to race with them, because it looked like they had a lot of fun. So I had fun too. I can't complain. Obviously, thankfully it was a clean race. I didn't have any trouble, so I can't complain about that. Thankful for that. So, but really happy to come home P3, man. This is I wish like I said, I wish I would have been up there battling for the lead, but man, I'll take a top 3 after that.
Absolutely, brother. Definitely show that you had a very fast truck and a capable truck of potentially winning this race here this afternoon, and how differently things could have played out with the different strategies and everything else with that track position and playing up inside the top 5, top 3 here throughout the evening, which kind of opened up more and more doors for you to maybe work yourself to the front of the field and put yourself into that position to win this race here this afternoon. Unfortunately, got to settle in for a third place run here at Gateway, but after the way things started and everything else, man, definitely nothing to hang your head about, as that was a heck of a run, heck of a performance out there on the racetrack. And Nick, who'd you like to thank for that great run here at Gateway?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'll give old Napa a shout out since they're always on my truck, and shout out to my teammates, Nate and Austin, Brett. Appreciate all of them. Obviously sticking with me and coming out here and racing with me. Shout out to the broadcast, always great. As always, just appreciate everything you do. Broadcasting, it's like a broken record, but you do a good job, man, and I like the way you broadcast these races, man. You knock it out of the park every time. So even a boring race, you make it sound exciting. So so we appreciate you taking your time out and doing that, and give a shout out to HCK Beagles for being a part of the league, and also Gregory and Kevin and all those guys, Ryan. I know all of them put efforts into this league to try to keep it clean and tighten up the rules. So just shout out to them for doing a great job. And yeah, just thankful to be a part of this league, man. It's been a fun season. I'm looking forward to Indy next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Indy going to be a great show here, and with only a couple races left before the playoffs, everyone trying to get into playoff form, getting ready to duke it out here and battle for another championship here with the HCK Beagles. Nick, congratulations on the great run, and we can't wait to see you out there on the racetrack at Indy next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night, and congratulations again on the third place run.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Nick Gardner. Gardner coming home there in position number 3. A great run and a great drive there for the 16 ride. As unfortunately, though, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here this evening. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Drop a couple comments on the broadcast. Even if we're not currently live and you're watching the broadcast, every like, comment, and share still on the stream helps it grow more and more. It helps us out here on Peacemaker Gaming. A huge shout out as well to all of the viewers coming in, showing the love, everyone with the likes and comments and everything else, man. I appreciate everyone showing the love here throughout the evening. All of our star senders over on Facebook. I know my boy Joshua Peacock came in with the big star bomb earlier. I do see Brandon Van Houten coming in, dropping that like on the stream as well right now. I appreciate that, Brandon, coming in, showing the love here in this one. Peacock with the 500 stars. My boy Race and Jason Fontaine coming in with the 100 stars as well. My boy Neil Lapidus over there on the Twitch broadcast coming in as well with the 100-bit donation there as well. A huge shout out there to all of you guys coming in, showing the big love, monetarily hitting those donation buttons and sending those donations to us, and to anybody that's out there watching. If you guys want to help us continue to do what we do up here in the broadcast booth, think about hitting that join button, become one of the members group, one of the group members of our members club over there on YouTube. Hit that join button. It's like $2.99 a month, and if we can build up enough, man, it helps us do what we do up here in the broadcast booth. Helps us pay and keep on upgrading our equipment to make these races that much better and better and better, and continue to keep on growing the channel more and more as well. It helps us monetarily continue to do what we do up here in the broadcast booth. So hit that join button, become a member over there on the YouTube stream, and hit that check and subscribe button over there on Facebook and Twitch, and become part of the Peacemaker Club today. And listen, I can't thank you guys enough. Can't thank the HDK Beagles, Michael's Warrior Project, and all of our other amazing sponsors here with the series here this afternoon. And we will see you guys all back here in the next one, where we may go live a little later here tonight. I'll see if some of the boys are on. Maybe we'll hop in and do a little late night stream and do some Call of Duty here to finish off the evening, potentially. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a possibility. So make sure you have those bell notifications turned on. That way you don't miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. But I'll see you guys all back here either later on tonight, or I will see you guys back here tomorrow for our double header for some more racing action on Wednesday afternoon. But can't wait to see you guys then, and I'll see you guys right back up here in the booth. And hopefully you guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your evening. We're gonna get a quick commercial in here with our sponsor over at Ranger Creative Concepts before we close things out. So we'll have this and then our closing song here, and then we'll be ending the stream there. So I thank you guys for tuning in, and hope you guys enjoyed the show. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like I'm afraid to say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart, heart, heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart. I feel like I'm afraid of the only things I can't change.
Beagles on the track, rolling engines never slack. Racing on, no looking back. On the hunt for victory's knack. Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight, Peacemakers gaming light so bright. Revving it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in the race. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Throttle down, no time to waste, in this high-octane haste. Every corner, every taste, leads us closer to first place. Under lights, the engines scream, this is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam, racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might, push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight, racing on with all our might. Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight, Peacemakers gaming life so bright. Revving it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in the race. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Thrill the place, thrill the place. Throttle down, no time to waste, in this high octane haste. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might, push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight, racing on with all our might. All might. Thrill the place. Thrill the place. Thrill the place. Beagles on the track, roaring engines never slack, racing on, no looking back, on for victory's knack. Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight, asphalt heroes in the fight, peacemakers gaining light so bright. Revving it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in grace, feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Throttle down, no time to waste, in this high octane haste, every corner, every taste, leads us closer to first place. Under lights the engines scream, this is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam, racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might, push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight, racing on with all our might. Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight, asphalt heroes in the fight, peacemakers gaming light so bright. Revving it up.